Hello, I am the One Owner, and today I want to talk about Final Fantasy I, the Pixel Remaster. Now, if you didn't know, I have recently been live streaming it from start to finish on my Twitch channel. I will put a link to my channel in the description if you want to check it out. I mostly stream Final Fantasy games and similar stuff. Right, but before we get to talking about the game, I want to make it clear that this remaster is extremely faithful to the original, very faithful. None of the bonus content from the GBA or PSP remasters is available. I don't really know if any of that was available on the PS1 version, so that's why I'm leaving it out. But that being said, at the moment, this Pixel Remaster is honestly the best way to experience the game, mainly because in order to play the PSP version, you do need a PSP. And the Steam version comes with controller support, so if you have an Xbox controller, just hook it up, good to go. Now, right off the bat, this game is very grind heavy. However, that doesn't really mean that it's hard. Most grinding is done by simply walking through the dungeons, trying to get to the dungeon boss, and the difficulty mostly comes from managing your health and MP. However, the game does offer some nice solutions for that, depending on how far into the game you are. Tents are a really good solution, for example. Now, the combat is very basic. You really just start off every single fight by selecting an action for each of your characters. Then they will perform the action while the enemies perform theirs. One thing they did add in this game that I really like is the auto combat function, which is really nice because you're trying to just get somewhere, for example, and you don't really want to deal with all the battles. You can just use this function to get through it. So what it entails is that you choose your actions as usual, then you hit the auto combat button, and your characters will repeat the actions every single turn. For example, if I tell the Black Mage to use Thunder, and then hit the auto combat button, he will use Thunder every turn until either he runs out of MP or I turn off auto combat, tell him to do something else. You can even use auto combat with Flee, so if you just aren't feeling it, you can auto flee in all fights. You can use it with Defend, so you can have everyone except for the Black Mage to defend, and then have the Black Mage use like a spell to destroy all the enemies. Also, another feature of that is that everything goes a little bit faster while it's on. I'm kind of lacking, I'm missing a 2x speed on everything. That would be nice, but whatever. Now, let's get back to talking about difficulty. Like I said, the game isn't hard. The maximum level is 99, however, I was able to, with very little effort, beat the final boss at level 50, and since none of the bonus dungeons from the Game Boy and PSP versions are around, there really is very little reason to grind all the way to level 99. There isn't an achievement or anything for it. So it's a fairly short game. I was able to beat it in roughly 12 hours and spend some more time after that farming for achievements. And getting almost all of them, really. I mean, at the moment of recording this, I have completed the Bestiary, which is the toughest achievement to get. I'm just lacking 2 enemies, and one of them is a really common enemy that I just missed, and the other one is the elusive Warmech, which is a very, very rare spawn. It can take anywhere between 10 seconds to 5 hours to encounter. It's kind of rare, but that really is like the hardest achievement to get in the game. Other than that, the game really doesn't demand a lot, only that you find all the treasure chests, which is really easy once you get to about level 50. You can just go through whatever dungeon you want to find them. Reach level 50 and do some simple side quests, and then you'll basically have all the achievements. That being said, the hardest aspect of the game isn't combat related, it's to actually find where you're supposed to go. Now, while I was playing it, I did find myself wondering where am I supposed to go a lot of the time. Many times you basically kind of stumble over where you're supposed to go, but I did have to check online for directions at least one time. I think it was just one time, but still. And I mean, I've finished the game before, once, so... There is an in-game hint system, but as I experienced, it only really works for the first dungeon. Then it just stops giving out hints. I don't know. But all in all, it's a good, fairly casual port of the original Final Fantasy game. There are other versions of the game that are a lot harder. For example, I think the PS1 version is harder. because of various reasons. Like I said, it's casual, it's fun. I would have loved some additional content, as the Pixel Remaster series is supposed to, you know, celebrate the entire franchise. It would have been cool with an additional dungeon with enemies from other games and stuff like that. Or, you know, just something. Ultimately, I would recommend this to fans of the franchise, but because the game lacks the stereotypical characters and crazy plots, twists and stuff like that, I don't think this would be necessarily a great game to start the franchise with in this day and age. Now, putting all of this into numbers, I would have to say that this game deserves a 6 out of 10. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't amazing. They could have spent some more time and effort into making the hint system work, add some more Easter eggs and additional content for longtime fans of the franchise, while pandering to new players, so to speak, with more like double speed and stuff like that. That really is about it, and I hope you enjoyed this review and thoughts and opinions. Yeah, like I said, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and for now, bye!